Good morning, my friends. We've been practicing for the last 3, 4, 5 meditations or so with coming to befriend our fear, to be curious about it, to learn from it, about what is underneath that recurrent experience of anxiety or fear, to looking into what it is that keeps that anxiety going, when it keeps returning in much the same form. We could easily say that anxiety is a universal experience that every single person experiences at one point or another. Fear is a little more sharp and focused, and not quite as common. And the best way to think about this, perhaps, is that they exist on a continuum. Anxiety is common and frequent, and fear is at the other end of that spectrum and is fed by anxiety, especially and almost certainly if we are committed to avoiding the feelings that we have been practicing being mindful of, being with, and welcoming. And so in these next few meditations, having some of these tools within us now for responding to fear differently, I want to take a step back and look at anxiety and fear from a much broader perspective that one could actually call fearlessness. Fearlessness is what begins to develop when we have a mindful relationship with the experience of anxiety and fear within. So let us be seated, if you're not already. Allowing yourself to settle into the familiarity of my voice as you have listened over this time, into the familiarity of your meditation posture, supported by the chair, and your meditating breath, which you mindfully draw up the back of your spine and allow it to straighten your body in just the right way, just like that. And breathing. Allowing whatever is in your mind at this moment to flow out and into the space around you, leaving an open space inside your awareness of the present moment. If you hear any sounds that are happening around you, let them pass through in one ear and out the other, as the phrase goes. Allowing yourself to visualize exactly how this happens. As it comes in one ear, passes through your mind without taking a stop, and passes out the other ear. In-breath comes in, out-breath passes through. And this may seem a little strange, however, it is the way, or one way, of working with our fears and anxieties, which is to touch them, name them, welcome them, and let them go. Anxiety and fear tend to thrive when we push too hard, especially if we push and try to push it away. And so we've learned to welcome that little fear. And the practice of touch and let go begins with welcoming. As you think of an anxiety that is real in your present life today, something uncertain today, something that keeps returning over and over to intrude upon your thoughts as you go about doing other things. Or maybe just a single experience of anxiety showing up in the midst of thinking about something that is upcoming. And remembering that we know anxiety by how the body presents itself. The body will become a little tighter. Breathing may become a little tighter and shallower. And it's probably subtle, but it's present. And often there is a feeling of heaviness or fluttering in your chest or your lower belly, a tightness in your belly, almost as though the body is preparing itself to take a punch. And all of these are in response to some kind of mental formation, even though the event itself, which is creating anxiety, is certainly upcoming. And so we consider how to become fearless, meaning less fearful, less rejecting, less judging, less striving, fearless, fearless. We'll talk about this more in the next meditation, but for today, let's practice the touch and let go. As you reflect on an upcoming anxiety, could be work or holidays or a difficult conversation or something else, welcome your fear, your anxiety about this situation. Bring the situation to mind, along with the anxiety. Breathe with it and welcome it. Welcome, little fear and anxiety. Come on in. This is the touch part of Touch and Let Go, where we acknowledge or welcome that fear as a natural human response to something uncertain or something that feels mildly threatening, not to our survival, but to our well-being. Bring one of these thoughts to mind. Welcome the feeling in your body simply by noticing it. Where do you feel it? What feels tight? How's your mind working? Is it being a monkey? Or is it stepping back and watching? Really take a look at the experience of how this fear feels, how this anxiety feels in your body right now. Breathing it in and breathing it out. And following that cycle to say welcome. And when you sense that anxiety feels steady and safe within you. Funny concept, huh? Instead of wrestling with it, you let it go. Make friends with it, and breathing out, let the fear go out into space. Breathing in, expanding your chest and all the space that's in your body around this anxiety. Give it air. And then breathe all that air out in your next out breath. I release you, my dear anxiety. I release you. Go in peace. And this is one way of working with fear and anxiety as they arise in your body. And as you remember, the body is always, always in the present moment. This release is not magic. It will take practice and repetition. The fear will come right back. The anxiety will make up another story. And in response, what do? You know. We say welcome. Okay, I see that you're back. Welcome. Let me give you some space. All around, releasing that tightness. And let you go. Go in peace, my dear anxiety. And empty your body all the way until there is nothing left inside. And let your breath fall into its natural rhythm. Practice this as you go out, my friends. Touch your anxiety. Breathe it in, breathe it out, and let it go. Over and over again. Namaste. Amen.